Hello, everyone, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. Today, I thought we would take a little time to chat about prepper burnout. Somebody had commented either in the comment section of a video or in the Facebook group. I don't remember, but I remember it catching my attention and going, yeah, it's a real thing, especially if you're very new, prepper burnout. And so I thought we would chat a little bit about ways to get past it, ways to not have to deal with it. It's something that I think everybody who starts prepping eventually runs into. My easy answer was it's a lifestyle. Prepping is a lifestyle. It's not something that you're going to do right now, just now, because there's always something to prepare for, okay? If you live in areas that have hurricanes, you're preparing all the time for that. If you live in areas that have regular tornadoes, you're preparing all the time for that. If you live where there's earthquakes, all the time for that. If you live someplace that has winter every year, okay, you're preparing for that. So preparedness is a lifestyle, but it doesn't have to be an all-consuming one. However, the more that you get into it, the more that you find yourself thinking of ways to become more prepared based on what it is that you deal with. So preparedness burnout or prepper burnout it's a real thing. It's a very real thing. And I think a lot of people right now are feeling it because so many people are coming to the prepper lifestyle with everything that's going on in the world. Okay, so here's just a few things that I figured we'd chat about, maybe make you feel a little bit better, give you ways to work with it. Okay, so first we need to be realistic. If you just started prepping, you're not going to have a year's worth of food to get through, you're not going to have everything that you need for medical supplies. You're not going to have everything fortified as far as security, so there are stages that you're going to have to be in. So you need to be realistic about what you're doing. It's like, for my fellow food preservers out there, it's like when you start canning and you see somebody else's pantry filled with all these jars of home canned food, right? And you're going, oh, but I'm not there. No, you're not there because you just started. And that's fine, because that right there is honestly half the battle. Just starting, being aware that you do need to prepare to some extent for whatever area, whatever region that you live in, for whatever things that have the potential of happening, however aware you are of what's happening in our world, in our country, in our state. That all will depend on when you start preparing and how you start preparing. So you need to be realistic and keep those goals and those expectations of yourself in check. You're not going to have the same preparedness lifestyle as somebody who's been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years. It's just not going to happen. So be realistic. That's a really big one. The next one kind of falls in place with that. Don't compare yourself to others. I talk about it when I talk about canning is, when you're designing your pantry, when you're looking at your pantry, if you're looking at building your pantry, don't go on Pinterest. Stay away from Pinterest, right? Because that will give you pantry envy that is most likely unattainable. So the same thing comes with being prepared. Don't compare yourself to anyone else when it comes to being prepared. I see comments all the time saying, I just don't have the money. I don't think I have enough. I don't, and I get it. I understand where that anxiety comes from. I remember when I first started, and it would keep me up some nights, seriously. But I learned that I can't compare myself to somebody who's been doing this for a long time. I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the skill, and I don't have the time involved that they do. So don't compare yourself to others. Another way to help stave off any kind of prepper burnout is to stay organized. This one's really big. And a lot of people right now I see are going out and they're buying all kinds of stuff. We're buying tons and tons of stuff. It's stuff. Okay, so you need to stay organized when you bring that stuff into your house, regardless of what it is, whether it is food, whether it is equipment, whether it is home protection. You need to have it organized, because if it's not organized, it does you no good. So if you want to kind of put that feeling at bay of, being oh, I just, I'm burnt out. I can't deal with it anymore. The best thing to do is to start going through it and organize it, because all of that stuff does you no good unless you know where it is. And that's a really big part of it. If you haven't figured out that part yet, it's time to maybe sit back, take a look, figure out where to put it all, get it all organized, and take stock of what you actually have. You may surprise yourself in the end. Another one is that it's not just about stuff, okay? It's not just about stuff. Instead of trying to go out and buy stuff and accumulate more things and stock up on more food, and it's rare that you'll hear me say this, but if you don't have the funds to go and buy anything else, then it's the perfect time for you to sit back and work on learning a new skill, work on building your knowledge base when it comes to preparedness. And because that can lead you down a whole nother rabbit hole. You can learn about foraging. You can learn about bartering. You can learn how to build fires with, very little things. You can learn how to filter water without actually having to go out and buy all this different stuff. There are different things that you can do to build your knowledge base, to build your skill base that will further enhance your preparedness lifestyle. So it's not just about owning stuff. It's also about knowing how to do different things and building up that knowledge base and those skills. Okay. So the next one is simply take a break, recharge. I'm not talking about weeks. Okay. But take a night off. Don't sit and stress about it, and don't watch The Walking Dead that night. You know what I mean? Do something that brings you joy, something that makes you happy. Spend time with your animals, spend time with your kids, spend time with your spouse, with your friends, whoever that may be, and just recharge. Meet some friends carefully for a glass of wine and a beer, something like that. Sit down and chat with family members. Call mom, okay? Call mom. It's important. So just take some time out for yourself. Journal. There's any number of things. For me, it's knitting. When I just want to shut down, I grab my knitting, because that is like a form of meditation for me. So find that thing that you enjoy doing that's not necessarily prepper related, and just recharge. So super important for your mental health, your physical health, and your ability to stave off any kind of burnout. Another thing is, and you can recharge doing this even, because I know I do. I'm a list maker. So I regularly reevaluate my life, my goals, and my plans. My life and my goals and my plans are night and day different than they were 11 years ago. Night and day. Okay. Totally different plans. So sometimes it really helps to bring that all into focus with your preps when you look at your life and go, what am I going to change? What do I want to change? What are my plans for the future? Where do I want to see myself in the future? And spend some time plotting that out. What steps can you take? You don't have to take them right now. Just plan out how that can help you moving forward, where you want to be in a year, where you want to be in 2 years, because plans change. Like I said, 10, 11 years ago, I wasn't sitting here. I was not sitting here at all. And now this is such a regular, ingrained part of my thought process and my life that it's second nature. So you will get there. Just sit back, take a look at where you are, where you were, where you want to go. Make some plans. My next one is to embrace the little wins. Seriously, what you have done, if you have just started out and you have a 2-week food supply, what you believe is a 2-week food supply in your house, and you just started, you have done an amazing and incredible thing, okay? That is something that you didn't have before this, and hopefully that is something that you will grow and enhance as you move forward. Embrace those little wins. If you learn a new skill, if you learn a new bit of information or a new way to find information, embrace that. And just, it's a win for you, it's a win for your family, and it's a win for your preps. So definitely you want to do that. So my last tip is kind of like recharging, only just a little bit farther. It's take a break. Just take a break. If you are truly burnt out and none of these tips seem like something that might help you through it, then it's time to just stop. Just stop and be done with it for a couple minutes. Put it on your calendar to revisit next Monday. You know what I mean? Take a day, 2, 3 away from it and just take a break, because sometimes we all need a break. There's a reason weekends were invented. It's so that we did not work 7 days a week, right? Sometimes you just need to take a break. Prepper burnout is real. People do run into it. I mean, just about everybody runs into it at some point or another, where you just become so overwhelmed that you just don't know how to put one foot in front of the other. You don't know where to begin. Even though you're in the middle of it, you don't know what direction to go in. And so it's something that you need to take kind of seriously if you are serious about incorporating some of this into your life. Because while a 2 weeks food supply is awesome and you should be very proud and you should definitely celebrate that win, you're not done. This is not something that you do for a short while. This is something that becomes part of your life. Being prepared is one of the best insurances that you can possibly put your money towards. Absolutely the best, because it will provide for you in the future when you may not have the ability to do it anymore. Okay. When it comes to food, you guys hear me with the Thrive Life Foods. I say it on a regular basis that's my retirement plan, not monetarily at all. Trust me, I'm the worst consultant in the world, but it's because I purchase some every single month and I put it in my long-term food storage. And I know that when I'm retired and the money is not coming in as much, that I have that to fall back on if I need it. Okay. So you have to look at your preps in that kind of fashion. It's not all for the end of the world as we know it. It's not all for whatever nonsense is happening currently. It is if that impacts you, but it's an insurance policy for anything. Your preps are an insurance policy to help you get through really rough times. With any luck at all, there will be no end of the world as we know it. Okay? With any luck. So whether you believe that or not, you do still have to recognize the fact that sometimes you just need a mental break from it. Sometimes you just need to stop, smell the roses, take stock of how far you've come and of where you're going, and recharge a little bit, and then start back up again. I hope that this was helpful for helping you get through some prepper burnout. I know some of you are definitely experiencing. And until next time, be safe.